Drew, welcome back to season 3. How was your... I need to bring the same energy. I'm about to say waning, feigning. I'm all of the drainings at this moment in time, my friend. It's we'll get there. We'll get there. How are you doing? I can hear poor little paws tapping.
Reggie's just about to go out for his walk, so he's getting super excited. He's like, he's almost as excited as I was then to see your beautiful face.
You're too kind. You're too kind. That's all I've got. I'm not giving you a compliment back just because you've given me a compliment.
That's all right. I don't need one. I don't need one, mate.
How you doing?
I'm good.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm probably like you. So we're recording this on a Thursday evening of the second week back. The second week of having students back. The third week of teachers being back. Yeah. Fourth week of me being back.
Same.
Yeah. Same. You were back in that first week as me as well. So it's we were just talking about new school year energy, and did you say?
I did. It was those are the words I used. New school year energy.
New school year energy. I've got energy for years. I feel like I've always got energy. Bunny. I do always feel like I've got energy enough to just keep going when I need to keep going. But as soon as I sit on the couch, I'm donezoed. Like falling asleep at 7 o'clock, snoring on the couch. We've just finished watching Shooter. You ever see Shooter with Ryan Felipe?
Oh, the series? No.
Yeah.
I obviously watched the film. Remember the film that came out
Mark
with
Wahlberg,
Mark Wahlberg? Great film. And then I saw the series. I thought, I need to get into that, but haven't yet. Is it good then? Yeah,
it's definitely worth a watch. So this is like my little routine in our house is Emily and I do everything we need to do. If we've got, we'll finish work, go to the gym, come home, make dinner. If we've got schoolwork to do, sit down, do our schoolwork, take Reg. Usually Emily takes Reg for a walk, which is, she's taking Reg for a walk now. So thank you. I could hear her eyes roll from here, even with these headphones on. And then we sit down and we have like a good hour, just the two of us chilling on the couch. Reg snuggles up between us and watch TV. And that's like our weekly, that's our weeknight kind of routine because it's so full on at work. You just need that kind of downtime to just...
Yeah, you said that. I remember when we spoke the other week, you said that to me. Because it's new school and even just new school year. But new school. And this is crazy. I put a post out on LinkedIn on Sunday. And I think I started off with saying this week has been challenging.
Yeah.
And it wasn't to go against what other people were saying, because a lot of people were like, it's been so good, it's this. And like mine still had been good. But it was just a case of that it's okay to be uncomfortable. And that uncomfortable nature does take its toll in terms of, you're really focusing on so many different things in terms of, right, where are my classrooms? What am I teaching now? I've got to plan this. And on top of that, with a leadership role that comes into this and a brand new sixth form, it's hard. It's super, super hard. And you said, didn't you? It's like, look, mate, you've got to be kind to yourself. Find that bit of time just to unwind and get away from it.
And you do so much extracurricular activity as well in the education space. And sometimes, like I was saying, you do need that time to switch off. Of course, I work at night. I don't know many teachers that don't work at night. You work at night. I know you're like the hardest working guy I know. And but you do, as I was saying to you when we last spoke, you do have to have that, like, make sure you've got that time to just decompress, not think about work-related items.
Completely agree. And it was funny, who was it on one of the first episodes? The best bit of advice, it might have been Kai, actually, about energy. And it was like trying to be consistent throughout the year with energy, because loads of staff come back in with new school year energy and they're super hyped. and you'll get to see them by about the 4th or 5th week in, and they just look flat.
Yeah.
And that's a big challenge, isn't it? How do you maintain just a consistent approach to energy?
Yeah,
it's hard, isn't it? It's hard. I think definitely the gym. We spoke about it before, haven't we? Get your exercise, get your exercise in, get a good diet in, and everything will be all right for you.
I think that's one of the biggest things that's been making a difference for me. We've definitely spoken about it before. Is the diet? I used to be fags and kebabs. And that's the best way to describe it. It's fags and kebabs. And since quitting smoking and going down the healthier food route, I've got so much more energy, and my skin looks so much better. I mean, it's never been great, but it's much better now that I'm not slurping down doner kebab 3 times a week.
We did have a bit of a cheat day the weekend, though, didn't we?
Yeah, last weekend. All that sushi.
We could tell everyone about this. So, by the way, listeners within the UAE, if Dan Fitzpatrick doesn't come back to do any more sessions, Dan, I know if you're listening and watching, which he does occasionally, I know that he spoke to us. We hope you had a good time. So, for those people who know, Dan Fitzpatrick, the AI educator, a phenomenal person, was in Dubai last weekend doing what he does best and helping teachers get to grips with AI. And we had a conversation with him because obviously we're at the Collab UAE event, which was very kindly hosted at your school, Stafford British, which was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
And we spoke to him before, and it's like, for all the times you've been into Dubai, Dan, have you ever been for brunch? And he was like, no.
What's brunch? I haven't. He said, what's brunch? I was like,
I just said, well, do you like food and drink? And he was like, do I like food and drink?
I think he kind of, do I like food and drink? I remember.
We had a great time, didn't we? We treated Dan out to some sights and scenes of a modest but still fairly enjoyable kind of get to grips
it was
with
very tame for a Dubai brunch. I mean, it was
still good.
It got a good fun as the day went on.
We did. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, we had. But the food was awesome.
The food was amazing. And that's the thing, isn't it? For like digressing slightly, but at the same point, bit of time off, bit of relaxing, and even he was saying, wasn't he? He does a serious amount of miles just to have that little bit of
always out and about, time. Always working, always on. And he was saying, he was talking about how whenever he's flying, he's constantly writing, or he's he never really switches off. And I was thinking, how can you work like that? You've got to have that time. Personally, I feel anyway, you've got to have that time to
definitely
to chill.
Good crack, Dan. It was good crack. So Dan Fitzpatrick,
loads of fun.
Thanks for coming out. If anyone else wants to come and join me and Drew on a brunch,
let us know.
Let us know if you're in Dubai. We'll take you around.
Yeah.
So going back into it, talking about obviously these first few weeks. Any unexpected challenges or surprises that you've had?
I'll tell you the biggest surprise I've had this year is just how nice it's been. That's the only word I want to say is nice. It's just been lovely coming back, seeing everybody. I've said this before. Lovely. It's proper lovely. I seem to say it quite a lot. It's just been so nice coming back, seeing everybody that you've, you spend such a long time apart. You spend such an intense time together throughout the year, and then you kind of just go away, don't see anyone, don't speak to anyone, unless you're, you and I speak quite a lot when we're over the summer. You've got those people, but you see everybody else, and it's not that you forget people, but there is that element of outside our mind. You kind of enjoying your home life, seeing your family, spending your time traveling, exploring new things. You really don't think. I found myself really not thinking about school or anything. And then as soon as I was back, it took about 3 hours to slide right back into the groove of my daily routine. Make sure, getting around and sit, just all those people that you've seen. All those people that you've not seen for so long, everyone does the standard, oh yeah, how was your summer? Da, da, da. You have the same conversation 3 or 4 times in a day. And that's good, but it's nice I'm more of a listener when it comes to that, because I want to know what everybody else has done to kind of get a vibe on have they come, have they actually enjoyed themselves. And it's
nice. You're a caring guy.
I'll try.
But remember this actually. So one of the last times we spoke on the pod before we broke up for season 2, you were telling us about holiday plans and where you were going to be going off to and some fancy travels.
Yeah.
So how was summer for you? How was the traveling? Yeah,
I mean, we ended up doing 2 weeks here, 2 weeks at home in the UK, and then 2 weeks here again. So it was really a lot less traveling than we've done previously. Previous years, we've traveled the whole of Southeast Asia, we've been across Europe, we've done, we've done quite a lot in the summer historically. So it was nice to kind of take that relaxation time, spend a bit of time with Emily, and just have a good few weeks here together. Then we went to the UK and spent quite a lot of time with her family, as we went to Centre Parks and Centre Park. I think we were talking about Centre Parks because you went to Centre Parks as well, didn't you? But you went to the posh one, and I went to the posher one.
I was going to say all Centre Parks are posh.
Yeah,
surely.
It was lovely. And that was really good. I was really, really sick on the last day, and then spent a good few days in bed after that. So I actually missed out on a little bit of my holiday, which was, it's the worst time to be sick. And I was like, if it was at the start and it was kind of, end of termitis, I don't mind it so much because I know, this is the time I've put aside for being ill. This is the time we always have those 2 weeks to chill, relax, and I've got no plans this time because I'm not expecting to be ill. The weirdest thing was I've never really been ill. Well, of course, I've been sick and I had a sick day and stuff like that. But when I was back home, I was staying in my childhood bedroom, and I'm lying in my childhood bedroom with this fan blowing because nowhere's got AC in the UK, and the summer was really hot. So the fan is blowing on my face. I'm lying in bed, almost crying because I'm so sick. And my mum's just going, "But you never get ill. You've never been ill as a child." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not a child anymore, Mum. My immune system's been battered by the UAE desert."
And about 50 different nationalities of travel. We're bringing different germs. That's it. You wait, give it another 2 weeks. We'll all be ill just because of all that travel bug that's coming back into the country.
Hopefully not me. No.
Touch wood.
And you.
All that jazz.
Yeah, or anyone else listening. I hope none of you get sick. Alex, please don't wish illness on people.
I wish no illness on people, teachers, educators, parents, youths that may be listening to this. But I did have someone come up to me, a new teacher, and she was just sniffling around. She's like, it's like I'm already this wee little girl who's she looks like she's just so young teaching Felix. She's like, hey, this, I've already got this cold. It's just like this air conditioning. And I think that's the acclimatization to AC, because it's warm outside, it's humid, and you come into the AC and you've got this kind of just mucky water that could be floating around. You're going to get it.
I imagine when the way you describe this poor lady is, have you ever seen The Wind in the Willows?
Yes.
Is it Badger or no, the mole?
Oh no, she's not.
I imagine she doesn't look like that. No. It's just the image that popped into my mind was
she's just this dainty little Scottish teacher who's who's lovely, but just sniffling into the sixth form room, talking about it. And I'm sniffling already. It's if it's not from the kids at school, it's from my own kids, because they're just what they're like. They did say hello, by the way. They're next door. They
brilliant.
did say,
lovely.
They were like, "We've not seen Mr. Owen in ages." And he's like, "Say hello for me." And I was like, "Do you want to get up and say hello?" And she was like, "No." She's just on her iPad wrapped up in a duvet. No.
So I've got to ask though, then, how was your summer? And obviously the new role.
Yes.
So start with your summer and then we'll move into your new role, shall we?
Summer was good, and I think most people, if they're following this, got to see a lot of it anyway, because I took my new little toy, got a Insta360 Go 3S.
I watched a lot of videos of you.
Oh, it was amazing.
Playing
it was
with
nice. Yeah, it was great. The camera. And it was amazing. It was just I loved.
I just realised what you said there.
It's been a long day for all of us. But in that sense, doing those things, but also when I speak to people now, August was only a couple of days ago, and summer seems like a tremendously long time ago. So to have those videos, and I love making videos of stuff, capturing it, showing it to the kids, and I can look back on it and go, I had a really nice couple of weeks. Like when Kerry was back with us before she had to come back here for work, like those 2 weeks as a 4, I didn't do any schoolwork, didn't think of anything. And I don't consider sort of the video editing things like work. It's like an enjoyable part that I know that we'll look back on, and I look back on already. And it's like, yeah, this was great. And so we had 5 weeks in England. Kerry was back here for 3 of them. And the girls had a great time, just rolling around the British countryside, which was amazing. And then when we came back, we flew out of Birmingham, and it was the week after the computer systems all went down. And for whatever reason, we were flying out. We were meant to be flying out about 2:40. And we did not fly out of Birmingham Airport till gone 7 o'clock in the evening, just because the Birmingham check-ins or their computers went down, which was
I'd forgotten all about that, but it hit Manchester really hard as well.
Yeah. So we were in the queues for a while. The girls were golden. Like they went around each other. They were just looking after each other. I went to food and just sat down. They had their iPads to get onto the internet in the airport. So there was 2 guys behind me. It was the day that I think it was the Charity Shield was on. I think it was United were playing City. And this guy was just behind me with his laptop open watching the game. So, internet and airports make things a lot more manageable. So that was great summer. And I think we were back on the Sunday, 10th. Yeah, early morning. We were in work from Thursday. And it's been really enjoyable. And anyone who's asked me, I'm very open about this, and I write very openly about it. Like I said about this Instagram post about it being uncomfortable, and it is. It's like you've been there and experienced it yourself. I've got I'm still teaching a lot. I love teaching, but I've got 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, 11s, 12s. So every year group available, and I've doubled up with some of them. So 2 year 7s, 2 year 10s, but I love it. I still love teaching and get to know the kids really well because we're a small community school. We're growing still. And the sixth form space is fantastic. The challenge is with anything is with the balance. It's the balance of what are the priorities, and identifying those things and then trying to go, well, those are my work priorities. I still have home priorities. I still have 2 of my own children and, they're a priority. I've got a wife, she's a priority and she works, she's still not home yet. She's on her way, but it's now 5 to 7. So trying to find that time, it's hard. I get asked this a lot because people go, how do you balance everything? And it's like, well, you know what? I get it wrong a lot of the times. It's trial and error. And I'm very lucky that I have a supportive wife who understands what I want to do and trying to do. And 2 kids who, luckily I see them a lot in school. I get to spend great weekends with them. And, I get the sort of half an hour in the car time with them. And I try and maximize that. But the new role, it's great. Like the school is great. And it's interesting you said about it being nice. I had a conversation today. And it's like, how have you found it? I said, everyone's just nice. Because you've got about as equal amount of new staff as what you have existing staff. And it feels like I've been there for ages. Because everyone is just so welcoming. And that really is like hats off to the leadership team at the school who have recruited not people for their the qualifications, but people for their characteristics and personalities, about getting the right people in. And it makes it a really nice place to be, a nice place to work. It's just good fun. Yeah,
I agree with everything you've just said there about what it takes to come back to a growing school. And I think from what you've said there, about new staff coming in, I think this is the first year in a long time that we've actually had more existing staff than we've had new staff come in. And actually that has been such a flip, because we're so used to kind of having our way of doing things and kind of going, but if there's too many new people coming in, it's kind of a lot, you want to get that critical mass of people, the right people on the bus. We've said that loads of times before, but then having that critical mass of the way that we are trying to build the school, and having more existing staff who are already kind of doing the stuff that that we are trying to build, having the community, little things like being out on the corridors at the starts of lessons and stuff like that, little things that it's just something that, some people don't do. And that's one way of teaching, and, everyone's got their own way, but this is we are trying to build the community feel. But if we've already got 70% of staff doing that, well, it starts to become the culture. And I think I spoke last year about the culture that we were trying to build. And I think coming back this year, it's finally getting there. We're and the leadership team has been in place for quite a while now. I think I spoke again quite openly about my difficult year last year.
Yeah.
It was a really, really tough year. I wasn't able to meet with you and do these as much as I wanted to. I wasn't able to go out as much as I wanted to. I wasn't able to do much because there was so much work to do. And there was so much going into the building of the school, getting the systems right, getting the processes right, trying to reduce everybody's workload so that they can focus on the good and the actual, the important stuff of actually teaching, trying to reduce paperwork. But the reduction of paperwork and reduction of everything else for everybody else increases somewhere else. And it's, it's kind of the leadership team that take that on board. And that kind of coming back this summer has really, I'm kind of seeing the culture, and it's so exciting because you're like, I've been working for 4 years on this. Not me personally, but, our leadership team, as I guess to some extent myself as well. But it's happening, and you can see it, and the kids have all come back, and they're excited to be back at school, and we've had this whole new floor built. You said your I've seen the photos of your sixth form centre. It looks incredible. We've got our new sixth form centre because we're in the same boat with just having our first cohort of year 12, and it looks incredible, and it's so exciting, and, it's everything kind of seems like it's coming together. And because of that, it's actually exciting to come back to work to. And you're kind of like, this is it. Like, we've worked so hard, and this is what's happening, and this is how it's starting to look, and it's all coming together, and it's all formulating into this nice thing. And then the icing on the cake. Do you know?
I know what you're going to say, but you can tell I drew it. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic GCSE results from our students as well.
Yeah.
Incredible. If anyone wants to check them out, have a look at Stafford British Schools results, Yeah.
I know exactly. In terms of getting that first cohort set of results through as well, we had a conversation about them, and we were really pleased with ours as well. And I had nothing to do with the Arcadia set of results, but for the teachers who were there and what they got a really, really good first set of IGCSE results, and you were super happy with yours as well. I remember on that Friday, you're just like, just like when we caught up, just buzzing around, and that's deservedly so, because you did put a tremendous amount of effort into it last year, I remember, and it's testament to the guys that are there, and obviously we've known some of the leaders that you've got there, and the type of people they are. It's earned, it's deserved, most definitely deserved.
I think the biggest thing is you're just happy for the children. Obviously, the teachers of those cohorts are very, very impressive. And it's, I will take a little credit because my class was, right up at the top. So
it's only geography though, come on.
Yeah, it's true. It's just colouring in, isn't it? No one's bothered about that.
So much hate from the geographers already.
Oh, it's fine. But there's, the team, the school as a whole, and I actually think because everyone did well, it kind of shows that we're building the right culture. Yeah. We've got the right kind of the right students, not the right staff, the right kind of vibe in the school, and it is. Alex is sick of hearing this because I've gone on about it a lot on how proud I am of what the students have achieved, and I think building that culture is kind of soaked into the students, and I'll stop now. I'll stop. That's the last time.
I think it's good. Like I did my first assembly to year 11s because in my new role, sixth form is quite small, so I'm looking after the 11s and the 12s because next year there'll be 12s and 13s. Yeah. And I did an assembly to them on Friday and sort of had a proper chat with them, and we were talking about sort of high performance habits, so the things that they need to be doing to be successful. And it's quite an indicative thing about people in general and teachers as well, but about positive affirmations, positive talk. And it's very difficult for people to actually highlight and talk about their strengths because most people are really good at self-deprecation in terms of, I'm not good at this. And I had a girl in the same day who was like, I'm just terrible at English. I'm not good at English. In terms of, and this is a year 8 girl structuring her lesson, like structuring an answer to a lesson. It's like, you're 13. And you're already saying, it's interesting even to hear you talk about it. And the point is, it's like, I think it's good to be able to go, we've got this, and because of the things that we did that are our strengths. And no one's perfect, no school's perfect, we know this. No. But actually, you're not boasting at all. It's not egotistical. It's none of those things. I think it's important that we can talk about our strengths and encourage students to talk about their strengths. So, you know what, I'm happy to listen to it for a little bit more. But speaking of something,
thanks, mate.
You're obviously very excited about it. So let's talk about exciting times ahead. Like, is there anything now that we've kind of got that, our feet are back under the table firmly now? What are you looking to ahead to that's exciting?
I think what I'm really looking forward to is this is going to sound stupid, but we are obviously the inspection style has changed this year. So we are no longer have to be inspected. Is it? I think it's
choice.
That's what's happening. Yeah,
there's a little bit of choice for it, isn't there?
Yeah. Now, last year, during our inspection, we were pushing for outstanding. We didn't quite get it. We wanted to put the foundations in place and see if we were on the right tracks, but it was always going to be very, very difficult because we did not have a result set. It was always going to be tricky because we can't prove that our school delivers outstanding results. So, and what I'm really excited for this year is the inspection. Because actually, it's really hard work beforehand. It is. And I'm not going to say that, inspections are easy. They're not. They put a lot of pressure on teachers. They put a lot of pressure on everyone involved. The students feel the pressure. Our inspections, right?
The parents,
parents, everyone. Our inspections, right, for schools, that is a completely different conversation to have. But what I'm looking forward to here is showing off our school to externals, to people who, go in and see schools weekly and will tell us how we are doing. And that's it. That's all. It's, do I like inspections? No one likes inspections. No one likes inspections. I'm not going to sit here and go, I love inspections. No, it's a stressful time. Gives me a headache when I'm planning my lessons. I'm one of the most off-the-fly planners in the world, as you well know.
Yep.
When it comes to even, and I'll be very honest, when it comes to lessons, I know what the specification says I need to teach, so I can kind of pick up my stuff and teach it. I'll have my ways of, chatting, talking. Yeah. I'll hopefully do what I'm supposed to do and get the right outcomes and things like that. But when it comes to, writing a lesson plan.
Yeah. I don't think many people like writing lesson plans. I like planning lessons.
Yeah.
I like the creativity. And I was showing some staff at school today. I'd created some GPTs, so some bots for staff to try and help with the sixth form curriculum, how they can make this more easy and effective for the more efficient in terms of bringing in like MSc, so the moral and socials, how we can utilize it for advanced pedagogical approaches, so like design thinking is a new way. So every couple of weeks trying to introduce a new way of looking at how they can be innovative and forward thinking in their lessons. And then one of the things we're bringing in is like the 6 C's. So bringing those types of things into people. And I enjoy that. I enjoy planning and being creative and so on and that. But ask me to actually write and sit and write a lesson plan. Yeah. It's one of those. I think most people are like that as well.
It's,
a lesson plan.
I guess the way that the UAE system is for people not in the UAE. You know, we still do have to write lesson plans for our DSIB inspections and things like that. I know it's not the same in the UK anymore, is it? I don't think Ofsted require lesson plans or anything like that, but it is still the same out here. No one enjoys that. No one enjoys, like, you know, and you do feel like you're under the spotlight a little bit and people are judging you, which, you know, but ultimately I try and see that other side of it as well and see that observations or inspections, things like that, are to try and support and build the school to be the best it can be. And if I kind of think that way, you know, that's the way that gets me through it. But I am excited this year to kind of say, you know what, we've worked hard. This is what we're delivering. This is what we're doing. And to hopefully get some nice validation behind that would be fantastic, and see that we are doing things right, not only in the eyes of the parents, because the parents seem to enjoy the school, not only in the eyes of the children and the staff, but, you know, if you can tick all the boxes of parents, governors, students, staff, and the government, great. You know, that's just the icing on the cake, isn't it, really?
It would be. Yeah, and we've got a BSO coming up just at the starting of October. So that's British schools overseas, isn't it? So, but those are things you request. So British schools overseas, you request those, they come in. And obviously they had to change their grading system, didn't they, in the last few years, because all the schools here, and it's very much a marketing ploy. But it was misleading to parents, because you had schools that were BSO outstanding, and then it was confusing parents because they just see the term outstanding, and it's slightly different. So they've changed their wording. So we have one of those in October, and then we've asked to be inspected, because we're very, very similar to you in terms of we're also very good, and it's having those judgments. And there's a lot of judgments, although there's only sort of like, what is they look at kind of 5 strand or 5 areas, don't they? But within that, there's a lot of strands and judgments to be made, and so getting those things ticked off, if you can, if they do, you know, it's one of those. It's all good and well asking to be coming and inspected. Whether they do is another thing, but you know, some schools
that's exactly
would get value,
where we are. Yep.
Would get value from it. So we've asked for it similar to you, but it probably wouldn't be till sort of term 2, term 3.
Yeah, I think we're looking more towards term 2, which will be. Which would be nice, and it'll be nice for, you know, new members of staff as well to kind of get used to the school, get used to the systems, get used to the UAE, because, you know, I've got to say there's you know, a fair few members of staff that we've recruited this year. And you were talking earlier about your new member of staff. I was thinking to myself, we've, you know, the new staff that are over from the UK are just settling in now. They're kind of finding out where they want to live and have those kinds of weekends house hunting and things like that. You know, it's a bit like I remember those days where, do you fancy going out for a drink this weekend? Oh no, I can't because I've got to go, you know, house viewing or whatever it is. And it's like, all right, fair enough. That's
I
good old days.
I remember I came out a few weeks before the girls did, with Kerry and the girls, because like I'd start work. I flew out August 20th, and Kerry had given birth to Olivia July 7th. So I was like, look, I'll go and settle us in, get everything organised. And obviously when you can come out, my mum and sister came out, helped her with the girls. I remember we saw the photos, but still living out a suitcase. Kerry wasn't here yet. And obviously going out, socialising as you do. And I remember coming in after a few drinks, and I'd unpacked one of my suitcases, was full of tech, full of wires and cables and things like that, and plugs. And plugs that didn't retract in. Plugs at that time were just 3 prongs that stuck out at the floor. And I had emptied a bag earlier before going out and just left it in the middle of the floor. So when I walked in the dark and I got myself undressed and ready to go into bed, I walked through and stood all over these things, these I'm going to say like devil spears projecting from the floor. Oh my God, my feet were in absolute bits. So living out of a suitcase, if you are going to actually do that, you know, it's just hide all the sharp things just in case, if you want those. I regretted that for at least a week afterwards because I couldn't walk properly.
My first place was in Al Barsha 1. It was
that's exactly the same as mine.
School accommodation, and it was called Teacher Towers. It was like known as teacher towers. So when in the corridors there wasn't like roof panels, you could just see the pipes. And yeah, it wasn't. Well, it was like,
Whereabouts in Barshawan was yours?
So you know where Mall the Emirates is?
Yeah.
It's like right behind it. There's like an alleyway that goes down past the City Max bar.
Yeah.
The Max bar, and then there's a new place that opened right as I left called the Stag.
Yes,
that's really good. And there was the barbers called Clipers.
Yeah, I remember.
Chops and Hopes.
You literally were just around the corner from us.
It was the best place I ever lived.
So you know where, obviously, the as you come into Barsh, that road, the main road towards Mall Emmets, there's a traffic lights, and you come round, there's Lulu's. And like
yes.
Those traffic lights. Yeah. So we turned left there, and we were just on the left-hand side there. So
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. This is something I had to warn the people who were new to the UAE. I went shopping. I was like, we finish early on a Thursday. We finish early on a Friday now. Because of going to the mosque. So people can go to mosque, right?
Yeah.
So my first ever weekend in Dubai, which was, bear in mind, it's 45 degrees. I thought to myself, I must have gone out the night before, had a late night gaming or whatever it was, and what I had done is woken up midday-ish, realised I've got absolutely no food in the house, so I've left, and I've gone to the Lulu's you were talking about there. So I've walked. I thought, I'll just it's not too far. I'll just walk, and then I'll get a taxi back. Now, this is back when Thursdays were Fridays. That will make sense to anyone who's lived here for quite a while. So we used to work Sunday to Thursday.
Gosh, that was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, a long time ago. So I'd woke up on the Friday, walked to Lulu's. I thought, didn't realise, basically, that there are no taxis available. So I'd bought all my shopping, got all my shopping bags. And this is like, midday, bang on prayer time.
Yeah.
In Al Barsha 1, so there was no taxis, no available drivers, nothing. And it was only a 15 minute walk away. But I've got all my shopping bags, and I went a little crazy because I was like, I've got nothing in the fridge. So I was getting frozen chickens, I had steaks, I had everything. And I had to waddle back to my apartment, dripping with sweat. The chicken had defrosted. It was... honestly. So I had to warn people that on a Friday afternoon, we finish early. On a Friday, if you need to get somewhere, make sure you get there before certain times for the traffic.
Yeah, I remember trying to even get out of Al Barsha on those Thursday afternoons. The traffic was just always a nightmare. And it still is a thing, isn't it? It's not a great place to get into or out of if you can avoid certain areas.
I'm not sure it'll ever change either.
No,
I'm not sure that area of Dubai is ever going to be... easy to navigate,
I remember saying to someone once that we lived in Barsha for 4 years, and they were like, "It's like the ghetto of Dubai." I was like, "What?"
That's why I loved it. There was honestly, I think I've taken you back to Max Bar before. We've gone to City Max before. I used to
go there when I first moved out. 2015, it was the Rugby World Cup. And although I was happy to be in Dubai, I was gutted because it was obviously in England. And England rugby in 2015 was dire, by the way, absolute dire.
Okay.
I'll
take your word for it.
Only host country to never make out of the pool stages. That's how bad we were.
Oh, wow.
And I remember going to Max Bar because they were showing the rugby because it was on at a stupid time as well. Obviously the time difference. And I just going to watch the rugby and drinking and just eating bar peanuts, even though it's probably the worst thing to ever do. I was just, I don't care.
That's why my immune system was so good. I've stopped going there, and look, all of a sudden I get ill.
Yeah. Children, they'll boost your immune system. So I've been told. But yeah, I remember those days just walking around. But we had the pushchair for the kids. And we were like, we could walk to Mall of the Emirates because you could walk to Mall of the Emirates. But it was 10 years ago where people just didn't really walk. So there was no drops in the curbs.
Yep.
Whereas now there's more people are walking around and doing those drops in the curb. Oh, my God. Kerry used to come back livid, just livid because there's two kids in this pushchair making their way to Mall of the Emirates.
You've got back then in where I was, there wasn't any sidewalks.
No.
Never mind drops in the curb. There literally wasn't any curb. There wasn't any pavement. It was just you had to walk. You had to walk in the middle of the road because there was construction everywhere.
I know exactly where you were, because there was just always a stream of people, just
on the
side,
literally
the side of the road, sandiness on the side of the road.
I remember it. It was called the Al Rayyan, and I remember the few weeks and months before moving, I was like Googling Al Rayyan grocery store, trying to find it on Google Earth and see what it was like. Never be able to find it. Like now that I live here, I'm like, no, this was just a little corner shop.
Yeah. The worst thing was, I remember being out and telling the taxi driver, and the taxi driver was like, I don't know where you live. I'm like, it's here. I've written it on a card. It's here. And like, this was before like Waze and Google Maps, and all the taxi drivers were just using that to get around. And it's like, I'm not in a fit state to direct you because I don't even know where I live, because that's my second night in the country. And I've just been told it's this building in Al Barsha 1. I was like, just drop me at the traffic lights. I know where I'm going. Many a time.
This is how much Dubai has changed over time. I used to give directions to my house online. If I was ever getting anything delivered online, I would have to say second right after the Chelsea Ramada.
Oh yeah.
That was my address. The second right after the Chelsea Ramada. So you had to go, but it wasn't even that easy. What you had to do was you had to drive past the Chelsea Ramada Hotel.
Yeah.
Go to the second right, then you get to a roundabout. It's on the left. You have to go around a little corner and then up a little dodgy little flight of stairs.
Yeah.
How people found where I lived, I will never ever know. Never know. Because my descriptions were terrible and the location was like a labyrinth.
It is around there. I remember walking around and doing all sorts, and you come out and you go back in. There's all sorts. It's still the same. Yeah, it's still the same now. It's just I
still go back for kebabs, Chops and Hopes. Places. If you're ever in Al Barsha, go to Chops and Hopes.
I remember my dad always telling me, never trust a takeaway that doesn't have pigeons around it.
I don't know if I've ever seen pigeons in Dubai.
There were.
There's some on my windowsill at work actually.
Oh.
That's a complete lie. Yeah, I just don't see them very often.
I don't have pigeons. I have what looks like parrots. I've got two.
Those little green ones. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is like 100 feet up, if not further. I'm on the third floor at the very top, and like they're up there messing about on my windowsill. It's like every morning, just dancing away. That's what it looks like.
That's cute though.
I know, it's nice. It is nice. So as we wrap this up, my friend, key takeaways. I know we're only 2 weeks in, but what would you say is the biggest takeaway so far?
Charlie Carnes.
That's in Al Barsha, or is that generally from 2 weeks in?
No, it's just my favourite takeaway.
I asked for that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Charlie Carnes.
Charlie Carnes. Big mood, banging food. What's that slogan? My key takeaways, honestly, is just conserve your energy. It's a long old slog. The days are long. The weekends are even longer if you make them. You can enjoy yourself and you can live life to its fullest. Don't let work take over completely. I think that's my biggest takeaway for this is, work hard, but live harder.
You're not going to break out into like Club Tropicana, are you? 'Cause that's what it sounded like you were going down with.
I don't know what that is.
The song Club Tropicana.
Can you give me a rendition?
No, I can't. I only know the Club Tropicana drinks are free. That's all I know. Fun and sunshine, there's enough for everyone.
Oh, yeah. Is that Duran Duran?
That's Wham, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
George Michael.
Oh, someone old.
Yes, it's me. Someone tried to say they were the same age as me today. He's like, well, we both start with 4. I was like, yes, but I'm 40. You're not.
He's 49.
Mine stops at 40. It's like, yeah, same age. We're the same age. And it's like, okay. So yeah, you had 2 key takeaways then. One is a literal takeaway. And then the other one is energy. I agree. Energy, conserve thy energy. And it's so easy. Give you an example. When you're tired, just to go, you know what? I'm not going to cook tonight. I'm just going to order in. Just going to order in. And sometimes, you know what? There's nothing against that. And you can order in some super healthy stuff, or, you know, maybe you're wanting to order in some sushi. It's always good. You know, a bit of greens. One of our friends, when we were at DBS, always used to eat the poke bowls, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
That's all I remember.
I love
or just always in poke bowls. Yeah, yeah.
Poke bowls. I love poke
Just
bowls.
ordering in poke bowls. So
we've got we actually have Fit Meals. Fit Meals, great.
We're looking to any new sponsors, by the way, for the podcast.
Yeah, if Fit Meals do want to, you know, they have an affiliates program. I did sign up for it. Got rejected.
Not big enough.
You can use my discount code is Big Popper 10.
Big mood, big food. Oh, we can't. That's already taken, isn't it?
Big mood, banging food 10.
There we go. Go. Oh yeah, you know, even if any gyms want to get on board, we like free stuff.
Yeah, you know, absolutely.
Some stash, merchandise.
What are your key takeaways then before we do adjourn?
I echo the energy, and just about trying to find a level you can stay at and manage that. Not, you know, because everyone thinks you'll see this a lot, and if you can find it, it takes a bit of time. But yeah, energy is definitely one, and that comes with just looking after yourself, being kind to yourself. But my key takeaway is, and I do love this phrase, and people, especially the kids, love saying it back to me, is that proper preparation and planning prevents poor performance. And you've heard me say that before, haven't you?
Yeah,
and generally with this one,
times.
it's when I was a wee bit younger and I played rugby. I played sevens, and most of the guys I played sevens with were in the army, and they love a good saying, and this sticks with me. But it literally is: proper preparation and planning prevents piss poor performance. The 7 Ps, and it stands true with this. It's hard, but actually, if you can organize yourself and organize just that time and spend and invest that time planning, it makes everything else so much easier, because you're not scrambling in the morning, you're not necessarily scrambling into the evening. But there's still things that need to be done. But if you're just organized, and if you just plan and you're prepared, it does make life so much easier. And from my own experience, when people go, "Oh, how do you?" It's like, because I'm just planning. I just plan and prepare my time, you know, and I block in family time. And it's like on my calendar, there is a reserved spot for family time. And my weekends now, and this is something I learned from you, is that I probably won't work on a Saturday. Like, we finish early on a Friday. Great, I can work from 12:30 till 5, use it as a proper work time. The kids are often out at parties or play dates, which means I won't work Saturday. And, you know, a little bit of prep stuff on Sunday, whether it's for podcasty things or just looking for the week ahead, because once you start Monday, it's gone.
Yeah.
So for me, my takeaway would be, look, even in a new role, new school, whatever it may be, or even if it's, you know, you're a dab hand at it. But yeah, 7 Ps, preparation and planning, will help you perform, I think, at whatever the level. And I think that goes with work, whether it's food, personal life, anything may be. Planning your gymming sessions, even that helps with everything, my friend. So there you go.
I agree. I totally agree.
That can be your next tattoo, the 7 Ps. Just get 7
Under
Ps.
the throat.
That's it. Show it to the kid.
Did you know? Proper preparation and planning prevents piss poor performance. Children, go!
Stands with you. I'm going to call him a kid. He's not a kid. He's a man now. So he's 30. And I taught him when he was 16. I'm like, this kid, he's not a kid. But it's funny because there's people I taught who are in the UK who've now moved over to Dubai. And I caught up with him before summer, and he was turning 30. He was getting married. And he was like, yeah, we went out for a coffee. And he was like, yeah, I still remember, sir. It's like, this is we're going back 14 years. He was like, you know, short-term annoyance for long-term gain. I was like, you still remember that? And he was like, yeah, I do. So it's like, well, you know, it's
rules to live by.
Sinking in somehow. I was like, if I'm good for anything, it's you know, phrases that are good for other people. I just need to help myself. But on that note, on that bombshell, my friend, I will let you go off to your Thursday evening. I can hear that your lovely fiance is there.
She is. She's powering about to pop my food in the microwave, maybe.
Yeah.
Fit meals again. Fit meals.
Fit meals. Fit meals for fit boys.
Woo. And fit girls.
And fit girls. Fit people.
Yeah. Fit meals do not discriminate based on gender.
No.
Nor do we.
Nor do we. We like fit people. We like all people. Everyone is welcome on the International Classroom Podcast. And on that note, Mr. Owen, I wish you a pleasant evening and a pleasant day ahead. We got Friday tomorrow, half day. And I look forward to seeing you on Saturday for a birthday. So when you come on to watch this, people, tomorrow or over the weekend, be sure to wish Mr. Owen, Mr. Drew Owen, a very happy birthday. He's one step closer to 40. Yep. Not really. He's actually still statistically still closer to 30, aren't you?
How old am I again? Yep. Still closer to 30.
You know.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. And we are going to have a rocking good time on Saturday, aren't we?
I cannot wait.
Let's. Actually, no. It's more like...
It's a very couplesy event, actually. Yeah, there's not like one single person going, wives. Couples friends. Whoop, whoop. But there is a bucking bronco there, so you know.
Oh.
We'll see what damage we can do.
Yeah, I was going to say, make sure
hip replacements flying everywhere.
I've already got lined up for an ankle replacement. Doctor's trying to get me for an ankle replacement. I was like, I'm too young for that. I'm too young for an ankle replacement. Anyway, it sounds like your food's there. All right, buddy. It does.
All right.
Always
have a good
pleasure.
evening.
You too, man. You too. Speak soon.
You too. Bye, everyone.